Less than 7 miles. This is where one of Florida's most promising trail systems just stops.
Hey, it's Christian with St. Augustine TV. Today, I'm going on a hike. I am going to hike the remaining gap of the St. Augustine to Palatka bike trail. There is 7 miles of unfinished trail that would connect with St. Augustine, but currently it ends here in Elkton. Good morning. I've already seen 2 people turn around here. So today, what I'm going to do is walk the 7 miles on the rail to St. Augustine so folks can see what they're missing. Let's go.
This very important piece that has been missing has been approved, talked about, but deprioritized for nearly 20 years. It already passes right underneath Interstate 95.
I'm barely a half mile past 95, and already it's gotten kind of quiet. It's like being in the woods here. Hear the birds chirping, some rural scenery off to the left. I'm right behind the massive housing development of Entrada right now. Not only could this provide excellent recreational opportunities for biking and running and walking the dog, but it could be a great way to commute into town, regardless if it's for work or if it's for having some fun and going downtown.
St. Augustine has a traffic problem. Locals know it. And right now, there aren't many real alternatives. This could be one of them. A safe corridor where people can bike, walk, and even commute.
Look at all this glorious shade back here. This is really sweet. I'm really having a nice time out here.
Finishing the gap doesn't just help locals. It connects St. Augustine to Hastings, Palatka, and then into a growing regional trail network, the Lake Butler Trail and the River to Sea Loop.
I can't believe that this is just sitting back here, just waiting for the community to, ask for it or to bug their city commissioners or council members.
If this gets finished, St. Augustine doesn't just have a trail. It becomes a destination for cyclists.
It is so nice back here. It's the middle of a busy work day. It's Monday morning around 10:30. And I can't hear 95, I can't hear 207. I don't even hear any planes right now. All I hear is nature. Sweet. If our local politicians are serious about sustainability, mobility, affordability, livability, all the jargon that they frequently use, I can't think of any project that would provide more bang for the buck than this one. If you could provide safe alternative transportation routes that people actually want to be on, that may allow some people to get rid of a car, or allow young people to move here and not have a car, or allow a struggling couple to, get rid of one of their cars.
With the average price of a car now over $750 per month, and rising insurance rates and fuel costs, this could make a real impact on affordability. And with the proliferation of e-bikes and e-mobility, this is even more real.
The city, St. Augustine, is obsessed with cars, and I understand why. It is incentivized to have cars because one of its main ways that it captures tourism revenue is through parking fees, parking fines, etc. So cars become valuable. I also think there's a lot of recency bias. Most of the people who are in city council and county commission are, up there in age, and their whole entire lives, cars have been the dominant transportation. But car ownership is getting a lot more expensive. You know, we're currently, right now, we're in the Iran war, and it shows you that at any point, you know, energy can get costly. Car prices are way up. Car insurance is way up. So providing alternatives, really, I mean, if you want to address affordability, there's few things that a municipal or local government can do to really address affordability that is being caused by, say, Federal Reserve monetary policy or federal overspending, which is causing both asset and price inflation. But they can build bike trails. They can build alternative transportation routes that allow people to get out of their cars, maybe get rid of cars. So, you know, if you're really serious about affordability, this is a good one. There's a huge economic development portion here. I mean, not only does this connect you to Palatka, but it passes through Hastings, which has a main street that is right off the trail with cafes and things that are trying to make it. The trail also starts in West Augustine with many young entrepreneurs trying to make it. So this would connect those two areas and provide really, you know, economic development and tourist development for areas that are traditionally not heavily impacted by the, you know, tourism in the area. So this fits perfectly within the Tourist Development Council's mission. Look how beautiful it is back here. This is gorgeous. It's amazing. I can still see 95 way off in the distance there. But we're in the woods right now. It is absolutely gorgeous.
It's super clean back here.
I actually can't believe that this resource is just sitting back here, just abandoned. I mean, it's a beautiful place. People would love to recreate along here. This section, probably the most wooded section and the furthest away from any development, is so nice. All I can hear is the wind and the birds. Again, this is actually a really nice hike. There is no doubt that this would make an incredible rail trail. It's midday. Look at all this shade. I mean, you've got a shady recreational path right here. Oh man, I tell you. Right now, we're less than a quarter of a mile to Holmes Boulevard, but I just want folks to see how nice it is. I mean, right off of busy Holmes Boulevard is a beautiful forested rail that could be a bike trail, a place to run, a place to commute, you know, a place to teach your kids how to ride a bike. Pretty cool. One of the larger expenses would be to build a bridge over Holmes, but you know, you could probably find some matching money or somebody who would just wants naming rights, you know, something like Beaver Bridge. In truth though, this is about as straightforward as building a rail trail can be. I mean, I don't see any major obstacles. The terrain looks easy. Everything basically looks ready to go. So I'm guessing, you know, you're looking at the lower end of estimates, probably $15–20 million with an estimated return on investment conservatively of $10 million a year. You know, it makes economic sense. It makes sense from a tourism standpoint of view, sort of diversifying tourism. It makes sense from an affordability standpoint, sustainability, and mobility. And not to mention livability. This would be awesome. We are in beautiful West Augustine right now. Although you would never know it by looking around because I feel like I'm in the woods. I can see King Street ahead, but that's the only indication that I have that I'm in West Augustine. This is still absolutely beautiful. I'm actually a little surprised. I thought I'd find some dumping or some homeless encampments back here, but it's still really clean and it's a nice place to be. It's actually a really nice place to be. I would totally do this again, just hiking this thing. Look at how nice it is back here. I mean, we are right in the heart of West Augustine, right outside in the county line. It's beautiful. You know, the fact that this is just sitting here, something called the St. Augustine to Palatka bike trail, but has just been allowed to, you know, sit and linger for nearly 20 years, makes me wonder, what are people doing? Wild, I can actually see downtown from here. I can see the Treasury building. You're probably not going to be able to pick this up on the GoPro, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, that was awesome. There you have it. We're at the end. I've made it to Rodriguez Street, and I guess I'm going to go over to, well, I guess I might just go down to King Street from here and go into town. How this would finish, I think you would go over to Spring Street, cruise on down, and then dump people out right into West Augustine, which would be awesome. Oh, I do want to finish with, that took me a lot less time than I was expecting. It took me 2 hours. So I'm guessing it's not even 7 miles. The gap to fill is not even 7 miles. They estimate that on the high end, rail trails are about $2 million a mile. So at the very most, we're talking about 12, 13, 14 million dollars. And for something that's projected to have an ROI, an economic impact of at least $10 million a year, the economic case is definitely there. And I would say that the Tourist Development Council money, instead of just marketing more Nights of Lights and more sing out louds and whatnot, this is a really awesome project to get behind and use some of that money, because it really does better fulfill the mission behind Tourist Development Council money than continuing to concentrate it downtown, because the whole concept of the TDC was to sort of spread tourism money out more broadly. This is an amazing, I mean, this takes you from West Augustine out to Hastings, 2 places in St. Johns County that could use economic development. So I don't know, man. There are so many ways that I think that this could get funded, from Sun Trail money to Tourist Development Council money to county money to in-kind, or not in-kind, to matching and little things like naming. I mean, I'm not kidding when I say I could see the Beaver Bridge going over Holmes Boulevard, or, you know, there could be benches all along the way and, you know, nice little amenities. But to convert that into a rail trail, I think it would be one of the more simple rail trail conversions there is. I mean, so anyway, I hope other people can get behind something like that. All it really takes is getting a city councilor, some city councilors involved, even though it's not really going to be their money. We do need the city to say, hey, this is something we would like to have. We need county folks involved. The Tourist Development Commission, I mean, given how much power they have, if they got behind this, then we're golden. You know, obviously, because we need to take it up to the state, and then we got to get some of that Sun Trail money. And I mean, this could be done much faster than I think most people think that it can. And it would be a really awesome thing. And again, building for the future generations. While, you know, building ugly big box hotels made of terrible materials and parking lots and parking garages may be good for right now, but I mean, this is a project that future generations, you know, will thank you for. Is this something you feel like you could support? That this would be something that St. Augustine could benefit from, that not just now, but for future generations? Is this something that you'd be willing to contact your city commissioner or your city council person to express that you would like to see what could easily be a high quality, if not a world-class bike trail leaving right from West Augustine? I think it would be great. It's way better than I imagined, and I would love for other people to get excited about this too.